Alright, this tutorial is going to teach you how to use formulas which make your life a lot easier, and they allow you to do big calculations or advanced functions. So to start off with, we're going to just do plus minus divided by multiplication and averages. Okay, let's start off with addition. So to do a simple equation, you always start with an equal sign. So click on total number of items sold, this column here, click in there, press equals. Equals tells Excel that we're starting a formula, and in this case addition. We're going to click on number of games sold and we're going to plus number of cables sold. Okay, so that's plussing two things together. You press enter and it does it for us. So 13, 10 plus 3, amazing mathematics. Okay, but we don't want to have to individually go F4 plus E4 plus D4. We want to do a range. So instead we say equals sum, S-U-M, open bracket, and now we just highlight everything we want included in our plussing or addition. There we go, these four here, and then close the bracket, and that plusses them all together for us. Now, we don't want to have to do that every time on the next cell and the next one, so what you do is you click on the cell that you've just done the formula in, you can see here, and if you move your mouse to the bottom right hand corner, your cross, which is white, will turn into a black cross instead. There it is. Click and drag down. That will copy the formula down and adjust all the references accordingly. So C4 and F4 is the top one. See? Plussing C4 and F4. But if you go to the next one here, you've got C5 and F5, which is the next one down. And so it auto adjusts the formulas. Now we're going to do some subtraction, but we're also going to combine it with what we've previously learnt. So items sold versus items damaged. What we're going to do is we're going to plus all the items together that we sold, but then subtract the number of damaged items that each employee wrecked. So to do that, click on this cell here, press equals to tell Excel we're making a formula. Type in sum like we did before, open your bracket, highlight the number of items sold. You can tell here with the sold written right there. Close your bracket. That'll give us 26, just like before. But this time, click back on your formula. Click back up here on your formula bar so you can modify it. Press minus on your keyboard, and now we're going to choose number of items broken. This one here, number 1. There, G4, and press enter. And so now you'll see it's 25. So this is giving us a bit of a number scale. So it's number of items sold minus how many they've broken, and that'll change as we go down. So you can kind of see the efficiency of each person. Now I'm going to show you how to use multiplication, but also how to times something by a fixed location, which will make sense in a moment. So previously we've just been adding things that are in line with each other here, but what we want to do now is times the total number of things sold by a fixed number, which is going to be down here. So a sales bonus. So every time these guys sell something, they're going to get, let's say, $5. So if we go $5, Excel realizes that it's money being used, and you can tell because when you click on the cell, and if you move your mouse up here, you'll notice this has changed from general to currency. So it's automatically adjusted itself based on what you entered. And we can even change how many decimal points. When you use money, you always go with 2 decimal points. So let's increase the decimals. There we go, $5. So no matter what they sell, they get $5. So we want to do some multiplication based on that. So if we go in here, go equals, we are going to first add all of the items sold. So sum, highlight everything except for the broken ones. So that'll add them together. But now we want to times it by something. So we use the star, that's times, and now we're going to times it by $5. And we click on that cell down here. Don't write in $5 because in case we feel like dropping that or increasing that, we want to be able to do it easily. So we click that, B12, and you press enter. Now, there is one small problem with this formula that I've just done. It'll work the first time, but if I try and do what we did before where we copy it down, watch what happens. We got issues. It's not working properly, and that's because when you copy down using this black cross, it adjusts the formula accordingly. So it's adjusted these numbers for us, which is fine, it's reading the next row here, but it's also adjusted itself here with B13, which is reading this empty cell right here. So that formula is not going to work. And you can see that's happened here as well. It's reading this empty cell down here. So to allow these to copy down, which is what we want, but to make this fixed, we need to use absolute cell referencing. Okay, and that works by putting $ in front of the cell that we don't want to copy down on our formula. So I'll show you. Click back on our first formula. B12 is what we want, but we don't want B12 to ever change. So what we do is we put a $ in front of the B, and we put a $ in front of the 12. And this tells Excel, don't change that formula. Always keep it in the exact same spot every time. And now you press enter. It looks funny, but it'll work. Okay, so B12, and now if we copy that formula down, it'll all work. And you'll see that B12 is staying the same, but all the other references are changing. Okay, and that'll definitely make our spreadsheet work much better. Okay, so that's multiplication and absolute cell referencing. So you've learnt two things at once. How amazing is that? Last of all, we got division. So what we've got here is we've got this fully sick computer company, and what they're going to do is actually charge their employees for everything they break. And the way they do that is by charging them a damage tax, which is going to be, we'll make that $5 as well, just to be fun and consistent. Give that a few decimal points, just like before. So that's $5 as well. And now click over in this damage tax cell here and type in equals. And we're going to start with items sold versus items damaged, which is the formula we made before. We click on that, and we're going to do divided by, which is the / key on your keyboard, which is generally the question mark key as well. / and divide that by the number of items sold. Okay, so it should be H4 divided by I4. Press OK or enter, and you should get this big long number here. What we're going to do is we're going to modify the decimal points with that. Just make it 2 decimal points. But we're not quite done yet, so we're going to tax them based on this number that we've generated here with our divided by formula. So click up here, put in some brackets, because that's our first part of our equation. So H4 divided by I4 times, and we're going to times it by our damage tax down here, B13. So we've added extra to our formula here, and remember, $ in front of the B and $ in front of the 13 to make sure it doesn't change. Press enter, and we're going to make that into dollars too. Hit the dollars there. So that's the accounting one, but I like the currency one better. There we go. And there is how much it cost him. So because he broke one thing, it cost him $4.81. Poor bloke. Okay, and of course we've copied that formula down, and there are the different amounts of taxation for each person. And finally, I think I said that before, we're going to do averages. Okay, now averaging in Excel is really easy and really self-explanatory. So we've got this averages column here. We're going to shove some averages for each of these. So click equals, and then type in the word average. Hardest formula ever. Okay, and now we just highlight the cells we want to include. Okay, so I'm just going to highlight this range here, close my bracket, and it gives me the average there to like a bazillion decimal places, but we don't want that many. Let's just go with 1. Okay, and we could do that again, but we're not going to, because we're going to just cheat and use this carry formula over function, and we're going to drag that the whole way along, and that'll do the averages for everything there. Now of course you're going to have to adjust the $ for these last two here because they were not included. Let's just go to currency, and there we go, we've got the averages there. So you've learned addition, subtraction, multiplication, division, absolute cell referencing, and averages. Well done, save your work, and you can move on.